Okay, let's talk about greed. We usually think of it as this big, bad sin, a moral failing. But what if we looked at it in a totally different way? What if we could actually profile it, almost like a character in a story? That's what we're going to do. We're going to uncover the psychological traits that really make up the character of a greedy person.
And believe me, this is a character that has been around forever. I mean, think about it. From ancient fables like the goose that laid the golden eggs, all the way to today's headlines about some new financial scandal. The story of wanting too much, well, it's a huge, inescapable part of being human.
And of course, we all have these classic archetypes in our heads, right? You've got your Scrooge McDuck swimming in his vaults, Mr. Krabs pinching pennies. They're kind of a funny shorthand for sure, but they don't really tell the whole story.
So, let's move past the caricatures. Let's get real. What are the actual, measurable traits that define a genuinely greedy person in the real world? What does the science say?
Well, right off the bat, our first big assumption gets totally blown up. We tend to think greed is all about money or just stuff, but the research shows it's so much broader than that. We can be greedy for pretty much anything: food, success, new experiences, even for social status.
So, after a whole lot of research, psychologists have basically landed on this as the core definition. It isn't just about wanting things. It's a very specific, two-part psychological experience.
And this cycle is really key. It has two distinct parts. First, you've got this intense, never-ending drive to get more. But, and this is the crucial part, that's immediately followed by this feeling of never being satisfied no matter what you get. The goalposts just keep on moving.
So how does that cycle become part of a person's character? Well, for some people, this isn't just a mood they're in once in a while. It's a consistent, predictable part of who they are. Scientists actually have a name for it: dispositional greed. It's a stable trait that shows up in all sorts of situations. And here's the kicker. This one single trait, it has huge, real-world consequences. People who are high in dispositional greed, yeah, they do tend to earn more money. But they also carry more debt. They spend more impulsively. They have lower self-control, and they're more likely to do unethical things to get what they want.
Which brings us to the central paradox of greed. Is it an engine or is it a defect? I mean, on the one hand, it can be this incredible driver for ambition and getting things done. But on the other hand, it's directly tied to personal unhappiness, financial ruin, and, being a pretty terrible person.
And that leaves us with this one final, kind of mind-bending question. If this trait pushes us to achieve amazing things, but is also wired to stop us from ever actually enjoying those achievements, what's its point? Is this deep-seated desire a feature of our human design, or is it just a fundamental bug in the system?